You've probably tried 3, even 5, maybe even 10 different AI tools by now. And the pattern is always the same. You get long walls of text, generic answers, and you still spend more time fixing AI's work than it actually saves you. If that keeps going, it almost doesn't matter what best new AI tool shows up next month. You'll just get the same generic output in a slightly shinier interface. The real problem usually isn't the tool. It's how that tool is set up to work with you. In this video, I want to give you 3 simple rules that can turn almost any serious AI into a real co-partner in your work. Rule number 1, context. Rule number 2, style. Rule number 3, goals, in plain language. Context is what a new hire would need to know before they start, so they can actually help you without asking the same questions every day. Style is how you'd tell that new hire to write and communicate for you. The tone, the structure, the formatting. So it sounds like you and fits your audience. Goals are what done looks like in your world. Who it's for, where it's going, and how you'll know it's good enough. Once you see those 3 clearly, you can start turning almost any AI tool into a co-partner instead of a generic chatbot. When I first started using AI, I did exactly what most people do. I opened ChatGPT, typed whatever came to mind, hit enter, and hoped it would magically get me. It never did. So I kept switching tools. New app, new extension, paid upgrade, same outcome. The outputs all felt generic and slightly off. At some point, I stopped blaming the tools and started asking a different question. If this were a real person joining my team, how would I onboard them so they could actually help me? Out of that question, I built a system for myself, then used the same approach with a few frustrated clients who were ready to give up on AI because everything felt generic. That system eventually became what I now call the AI co-partner setup. The exact setup is different for every role and workflow, but the principles are the same. And that's what I want to give you here. The 3 rules that make almost any AI behave more like a co-partner and less like a toy. Let's start with rule number 1. Rule number 1 is context. Context is everything a real colleague would need to know so they can help you without asking the same questions every single day. Who you are, what you do, who you serve, what tools you use, your constraints, the key workflows you run over and over again. Most people give AI almost none of this. They open a new chat and say, "Write me an email," or "Help me outline a video." That's like walking up to a stranger and saying, "Can you quickly write this for my business?" Of course, the answer is going to be generic. That was my before picture. Every chat felt like talking to a brand new intern. They didn't know my audience, my offers, or my boundaries. So I had to keep re-explaining my world from scratch. And even then, the responses were shallow or just slightly wrong in ways that cost me time to fix. Once I started taking context seriously, things changed quickly. Instead of just asking for tasks, I gave AI a stable picture of my role, my audience, my offers, and my typical projects, the same way I would if I were onboarding a new team member. So when I said, "Write this for my viewers," it knew who those viewers were. When I said, "Adapt this for my clients," it understood what they care about and what to avoid. Without context, AI is guessing. And when it guesses, it reaches for the safest, most generic version of an answer, something that could apply to anyone on the internet. When you give it context, you're handing it a map of your world. You're saying, "This is who I am. This is who I serve. This is how we do things here." Once it has that map, you stop getting random blog post answers, and you start getting suggestions that feel like they were written inside your business for your people. That's the first rule of turning AI into a co-partner instead of a toy. Stop treating it like a search box, and start treating it like a new hire who needs real onboarding. Once I had that in place, the content was closer, but it still didn't sound like me. That takes us to rule number 2. Rule number 2 is style. If context is what a new hire needs to know before they start, Style is how you'd tell that new hire to write and communicate for you. You have certain phrases you like, a way you open emails, a level of formality that feels right for your people. Maybe you like short, punchy sentences, or you're more detailed and explanatory. Most people never tell AI any of that. So what does it do? It defaults to what I call internet professional. Slightly formal, slightly bland, kind of helpful, but not memorable. The result is content that might be factually correct, but it doesn't sound like you. It doesn't sound like something your audience would instantly recognize as coming from your world. In my before phase, this is where I got really frustrated. I'd finally get AI to understand my topic and my audience, and then the final output would read like a generic LinkedIn post or a school essay. So I'd spend another 20 to 30 minutes rewriting it in my own voice. At that point, AI wasn't saving me time. It was just giving me a clunky first draft I had to fight with. When I started treating style as a first-class rule, everything shifted. Again, imagine that new hire. You wouldn't just say, write good emails. You'd say, here's how I talk to my audience. Here's what I never say. Here's how casual or formal I am. Here's how I want things structured so people can scan quickly. You might show them a few, this is very me examples, and a few, this is not me at all examples. AI responds the same way. When I started giving it a clear picture of my tone, my pacing, my preferred structure, and what to avoid, the output stopped sounding like a random expert on the internet and started sounding like a version of me on a really good day. Here's the key idea behind this rule. Without style, AI can be right, but still wrong. The information is correct, but the delivery doesn't fit you or your audience. With style, AI becomes a voice-matched collaborator. It can draft and revise content that feels like you actually sat down and wrote it, even if you just guided it. So at this point, with context and style in place, I had an AI that knew my world, knew my people, and could talk roughly like I do. But there was still one missing piece. It didn't always know where we were trying to go. That's what rule number 3 fixes. Rule number 3 is goals. Goals answer a simple question. What does done look like in your world? Again, go back to the new hire. If you ask them to write a report, that's vague. If you ask them to write a one-page summary for our leadership team that compares options A and B and ends with a clear recommendation, that's specific. Most AI requests look like that first version. Write a blog post, draft an email, outline a course, help me plan a video. There's no definition of success, no constraints, no sense of where this is going or how it'll be used. So AI does the only thing it can do. It produces something that looks like what most people might want, which is rarely exactly what you need. When I got honest about this, I realized something. Half the time, I wasn't even clear in my own head what done was. Did I want something short and punchy, or a deep dive? Something I could mostly copy-paste, or just raw material to think with? Was this going to people who already know me, or to people who've never heard of me? Once I started making goals explicit, AI's work rate basically doubled. Because now it knew who this is for, where it's going to live, email, video, landing page, internal doc, roughly how long it should be, what the main outcome is. The difference was dramatic. Instead of a generic, helpful article, I'd get a focused script for a very specific type of viewer. Instead of a vague email, I'd get something tailored to a particular segment of my audience, with a clear call to action. That's the heart of rule number 3. Without goals, AI will give you something that looks finished, but doesn't actually move the needle. With clear goals, AI becomes a partner that's aiming at the same target you are. So, when you put these 3 rules together, context, style, and goals, here's what starts to happen. You stop bouncing between tools, hoping the next app will magically understand you. You stop wasting 30 to 40 minutes fixing AI's work so it sounds like you and fits your people. You stop getting those frustrating, generic answers that feel like they were written for everyone and no one at the same time. Instead, you get drafts that sound like they came from inside your business, ideas that are actually usable in your world, and support that feels less like a toy and more like a teammate who understands how you work. And none of this is tied to one specific platform. These rules apply across almost any serious AI tool you're using at work right now: chatbots, writing tools, research assistants, and content planners. Because at the end of the day, you're not really learning how to use Tool X. You're learning how to turn any AI into a co-partner. Now, one important note. The exact way you set this up, where things live, how you phrase them, how you connect them to your tools, is different for every role, every tech stack, and every workflow. If I tried to cram a one-size-fits-all tutorial into this video, it would either be too generic to help or out of date in a few months. That's why in these videos, I focus on the what and the why, the principles that stay useful long-term. If you're watching this and thinking, okay, I get the 3 rules. I can see how this turns AI into more of a co-partner, but I'd love to see how to actually wire this into my setup. That's exactly what I walk through inside my AI co-partner setup guide. It's where I take these same 3 rules, context, style, and goals, and show you how I apply them so you can adapt the system to your own role, tools, and workflow. So here's your next step. Before you jump to the next shiny AI app, pick one tool you already have. Then ask yourself, have I actually given it real context, the way I would a new hire? Have I taught it my style, instead of letting it default to internet professional? Have I told it what done looks like, or am I just tossing it vague tasks? If the honest answer is no, then you haven't really seen what that tool can do for you yet. If you want help turning your current AI into a real co-partner instead of a generic chatbot, check the link in the description for the AI co-partner setup guide. If this video helped you see what's been missing from your AI setup, do 2 things before you click away. First, tell me in the comments which rule you're going to fix this week: context, style, or goals. Second, subscribe if you want more videos on turning AI into a real co-partner instead of a generic chatbot. Let's take this one step at a time. You don't need 10 more tools. You need one AI that actually knows how to work with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.